Very brief because there's lots of good stuff to do tonight. This is a filed federal court statement of claim suing, it's the Dzawada'enuxw First Nation versus the Attorney General of Canada, saying that, asserting that they have Aboriginal rights and that their Aboriginal rights are infringed by the federal licenses that authorize these fish farms. It's the first time this has been done, and it's a surprise because, as Damien said, here we are in muskrat territory. It was the great muskrat case of Sparrow 30 years ago that set the precedent, which is relied upon directly here. In addition, this case, so thank you, Ronald Sparrow, who took that case to the Supreme Court of Canada. He was charged. What's different about this is not a charge against somebody. This is the Dzawada'enuxw First Nation proactively claiming a territory. Here's the map at the back of the claim, saying within that territory they have Aboriginal rights to fish, almost uncontrovertible that they have Aboriginal rights to fish. How could anybody argue with that? And then that those rights are infringed because of pollution, because of parasites, because of diseases introduced with the federal approval, the federal permits, the federal licenses that authorize the introduction of this alien species, Atlantic salmon, into the Pacific waters. The very thing that horrifies us all is authorized by federal licenses. So who is it? We've all been horrified. All my life I've been horrified by the fact that there's Atlantic salmon in our beautiful Pacific coastal waters. Who's going to rescue us? The First Nations. The valiant, tiny, but powerful Dzawada'enuxw First Nation is taking it first. Aren't we all so lucky that we live in a country where, despite big government and big industry that happens everywhere in the world, we have First Nations that have constitutionally protected rights that must be respected. And bit by bit, piece by piece, a series of precedents have been built that make this kind of thing possible. And it is the First Nations. It is that great alliance between the aspirations of all Canadians and First Nations who have those fundamental rights that's going to save us. That's going to save us from pollution. That's going to save us from climate change. It's the First Nations. We depend upon them. We rely upon them. This is an amazing fact about Canada. It's one of the wonderful things about this country, is that our First Nations, their rights were recognized right away in 1763. They were kind of trampled and ignored for a long time, but they're coming back to life right now. And so that's what makes this possible. And so from being the people who historically were so disadvantaged, were so neglected, were so marginalized, they're now the people who we respect and honor and rely upon to save our butts, because they're the ones whose rights are going to be prevailing in the face of the insanity we see around us. So I'm so proud to be here. I'm so proud to be able to represent the Dzawada'enuxw First Nation in this case. This historic case, I don't know why this hasn't happened before, but it hasn't. Well, it's happening now, and it's going to be successful. This is one in a series of 3 court cases, each one of which is capable of permanently disabling the fish farm industry. We just need one victory. We've got 3 cases. 2 of them are against the province, and this one is against the federal government. One of these cases is going to succeed in seriously undermining and perhaps terminating the open net pen Atlantic salmon fish farms. So it's so great that you're here tonight. There's a wonderful show here, some fantastic, talented people, and all I can do is say I'm honored to be here, and I'm so proud that all of you are here to show your support for this great cause. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much, Jack. And we just have one more thing to do here before we open up the